I think it was something like Teresa Stoneley or Stokes or Stokely or something like that.
Gotcha. I think I got her. I don't know anything about her. I don't
Right. So the claim that's been made is that if you look at ncbar.gov, you'll see that she didn't pass the bar exam, right? So she apparently didn't pass the bar exam, but she's a magistrate, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah. So now, if that's the case, and if they say, well, okay, you don't need to pass the bar exam, you don't need to have that to be a magistrate. If you look at the differences between the requirements for the legal authority and jurisdiction that you have, like, so a magistrate, if you look at them, magistrates, I think, are like judicial officers, right? They're supposed to handle less severe.
Small claims.
Yeah, because Damon, what happens is they can make decisions, but they are ultimately have to be co-signed or stamped by a judge. So they're kind of like magistrates make like recommendations.
Well, they're calling her a judge.
Yeah, no. I understand that they're supposed to handle these less severe
with them.
And they're supposed to handle less severe matters usually, right? And the judge has those more expansive powers looking over like the more complex, more serious issues. So I think the question that the people have now and why they're so pissed off is, why is the magistrate, why is she, somebody who doesn't understand the law enough to pass the bar exam, why is she handling this case with this guy who's
why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop your fucking lying.
Daylight, right? So that I think is where the people are getting pissed off with it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Okay. So do you think they're right to be pissed about that?
Damon,
I don't know enough about it, but
the reason that this has all come to light
sorry.
is the fact that he was basically returned. He was arrested 14 times. Doesn't look like he served any significant time, but he was continuously sent to this recovery center.
She monetized him
by the judge. Like
she monetized him basically.
When they've investigated, now that they're investigating these circuit courts, they're finding that it was not just her, it was a bunch of the other ones that were sending it to her facility. So they were essentially monetizing these criminals and making sure that it was a continuous revolving door, so that
look at the bank accounts, look at their bank accounts.
Yeah, it's always follow the money, right? And so the state would pay for this treatment because it's court ordered.
But this is the same thing. You have activist judges, right? Which is clear bias. But the role of a judge is like Jake's role in the debate tonight. He's supposed to moderate. He's only allowed to tell you what you can't do. He's not supposed to put any of his opinions or any of that shit into the conversation. That's what judge is supposed to do.
Right. So unbiased. Damon, right?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Okay, so you have a fair question, right? Which is, should people be pissed about this magistrate, right? What's kind of briefly the claim against her, that she should have just didn't do enough to kind of keep him off the street?
I'm saying if we're going to say it's okay for you to be involved in the law to some degree, or the process of justice to some degree, but we're going to say that we don't expect you to pass the bar exam. You don't need to be at that higher standard. But as a caveat to that, we're going to recognize that you're only going to be presiding over these less severe legal matters.
Yeah.
Okay. And when it comes to the more kind of serious cases, you're going to have to have proven that you understand the law enough to pass the bar exam. If that's the case, why the fuck is this dude, after like 14 times, why is she in charge of letting him go free and be back on the streets again?
I guess it's a good question. Although to be honest, within your question are I think there are some built-in assumptions that would be important to sort of actually, and maybe you know the answer, like it's just maybe you just haven't disclosed it, but to sort of understand, okay, well, what was the role this magistrate played? Because it's easy to sort of say, hey, this guy's been in front of her 14 times, and each time he walked, or didn't receive a more severe punishment.